Looks like we got some guests in the building.
Cody Crowley in the building. What's up, my friend? Ryan, take your charger before it gets crushed.
What's going on, champ? You could just adjust your mic, whatever works best for you.
We already online?
Oh, we've been live.
Okay.
We've been live. You just walked in and hot, baby.
I got a late start.
No, you're good. You're good. You're scheduled for this time.
Water? Good.
I'm good. I got my coffee. I'm good.
Okay, what are you drinking? Black?
Just black.
No sugar?
No sugar.
Not even stevia?
No.
Whoa.
No. I'm sweet enough for it.
Yo, I don't know if you remember us. We've interviewed you virtually via Skype.
Yes.
Probably the only people that use Skype.
Yeah. No, I remember. It was
good,
awesome.
Good,
you guys
because
were good.
that conversation was awesome, and I learned so much about you. And I talked to Bill Haney. He's Austin. Justice for him. It keeps dropping. I talked to Bill Haney, and he's like a regular here. I mean, he was here yesterday.
Yeah.
So
2 days ago.
Yeah. But you're the first person, right? You sparred Devin, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And you're the first person that I don't hear him say, y'all fucked up. They fucked up. Right? Like, he literally, like...
You know, it's funny you said that. I've never heard him say, like, oh, yeah, I fucked up Crowley. But
That's my point.
I've heard him say he fucked up other people in sparring.
And that's my point. Like,
yes.
Literally yesterday, he told me, we got a graveyard. We got a graveyard of bodies we've been fucking up. So it don't matter who's next. We already fucked them up in Spawn. We got a graveyard. But I've never heard your name mentioned in that graveyard.
No.
So I gotta know, when did you spar him? And how was it? Obviously, you're bigger, so maybe you ain't supposed to be in the graveyard, right? Because if you're a 147-pounder, you're probably sparring Devin at what, 55, 58?
Yeah, you know what? 135-pounders, they're walking around at 150, 155 pounds too.
I don't know about Devin. You think Devin's that high?
You're
a Vegas guy. You would know more than me.
It all depends. And anyone who knows boxing knows that size really doesn't matter. You've watched Floyd in there how many times with 200-pound grown men. Size doesn't mean anything. Boxing is a sport that is a conscious sport, and it's about tactics and principles and outsmarting your opponent. The muscles, the speed, all that goes out the window when you have a conscious person in front of you who is tactically breaking you down and taking away any tools that you bring to the table. And that's what I do. Me and my trainer, Ibn Cason, that's a salt and pepper duo. He teaches me exactly how to nullify whatever weapons are placed in front of me. That's why we've spent all these years together building such a big toolbox. I have so many tools in my box that it doesn't matter who is in front of me, I have the right tool to nullify that opponent and get the job done.
I still want to know how it was the sparring.
Sparring was good.
Because if you don't say nothing, then it's like we're supposed to assume that that's the same reason they didn't say nothing, which means that you did better than expected.
This is one of the reasons why it's hard for me to stay in boxing, because all it is people talking shit.
Yes.
All they want to do.
It's the story,
all
though.
All they want to do is talk shit. I remember I'm on the treadmill running, finishing 6 miles, and my coach calls me, hey, Devin needs some help. Can you come into the gym and help him train? Coach, I'm running 6 miles. Yeah, but that's what we do. It don't matter how you feel. Let's go. All right, I'll stop my run. I'll take off my running shoes and show up at the gym to help you. And I show up there, supposed to box 10 rounds. Well, we only box 6 rounds. That's all I got to say.
And you are the trainer?
Yeah.
Oh, how are you? What's your name?
Ibn Cason.
Ibn Cason. Pleasure to meet you. Where are you from?
I'm from Baltimore, Maryland.
Oh, Baltimore. Okay,
Yeah.
Okay. What part?
Just all over West Baltimore. I was originally raised in Randallstown, but we was everywhere.
Okay. So did you come up under any of the bigger name trainers in Baltimore? Did you start in your own gym? How'd you get your start in boxing?
My brother was a world champion. So I came up under just trying to imitate my brother. I wanted to be like my big brother. And so he beat me up one day real good, and I realized that wasn't for me.
Okay.
And so but I always loved the sport, and being as though my brother had a bunch of different trainers, and I was trying to box at the time. I got a lot of information from a bunch of different trainers, and so I just wanted to kind of give back to the sport and still stay in the sport, and so I crossed over to the training side. But I wanted to speak on that Devin Haney situation, because there's a lot of respect there for Devin, and a lot, in the boxing game and in the boxing world, a lot of times you get into a bunch of gym wars and stuff like that, and it turns into something bigger than what it's supposed to be. And so I believe that, the reason why there's never anything said about from Bill, from his side, and now you're getting it from our side, is really because it's just the respect there. You never know what somebody did. You don't know if Devin went up and ran Mount Charleston and then came in and sparred, or Cody, as he said, ran 6 miles and then came sparring. It's just sparring. It doesn't, it doesn't mean you're a better fighter. And when fighters are trying to couch chase and do stuff like that, and make a name off of doing something in sparring, it really means absolutely nothing. And so, but it can be damaging to somebody's career. So I think that it's just more so of a respect thing, where, you keep the sparring in the gym. It's not, it's not for, hey, you're not getting paid from that. We don't have a podcast where we just have sparring. So, I just respectfully, so I don't want somebody to lead my fighter down that road where, it's damaging to, the community of boxing, because now people start getting personal feelings, and now you can't even get sparring with nobody no more, because they're like, all right, well, no, I got to be in the best shape to spar him, because, when it's just all supposed to be work. So with the Devin situation, it was great work. Devin don't know what we did before. We don't know what Devin did before. It was great. Ain't nobody beat up anybody. It was great work. My fight has never been beat up by anybody. Even when he sparred Tank.
Have y'all been called back though?
Yeah. Okay. We've been called. I mean, respectfully, we've been called. It's been great work.
You got to understand, this is what fight fans want to hear. These are it's taboo. Sparring is the hush hush. It's gym only. So. And then, Bill and Devin, like I said, they got a resume for that. So it was just interesting. It's like, Tank's name, Floyd's name. I never seen a Cody. So it makes me interested more in him, because it says something about him and what he can possibly do, which we get opportunity to see now on the high stage, obviously, with Joseto Lopez. Not that he hasn't already proved that with Quadratilo, but Lopez is the name that the casuals, or rather that can put him on that stage in front of the casuals.
Right. And then obviously we've seen, more so me especially, damn, what a fucking coincidence. I got the Devin Haney.
It's not a coincidence. You have a lot of Devin Haney outfits. But at least you're wearing a Lovejoy hat. So there's no bias there.
No, but we've seen a lot of it, and it is intriguing, especially because I feel like that's how Devin made a name for himself, right?
Yes.
He was like 16, 17 sparring Sean Porter, and those videos would go insane, because like, oh crap, for one, you don't really get to see the public, right? They don't really get to see sparring. And then, oh, well, who's this kid at the time sparring with the world champion? So I feel like his sparring notoriously, is
I mean, Bill says it. Devin was created on YouTube, so sparring, pad, where all that is part of it. But
April 16th, right?
Exactly. Let's get to the point, because I did want to just make sure, because again, it was intriguing to me. So
let me speak to one more thing on that. But maybe is a respect thing that Devin and Bill have for us as a team. So, because I don't go out there, as you see, I'm trying to defend and stop all that right now, right? So I don't go out there propagating what we did, this, that, and the third. So, and not to say that Devin effed Cody up or Cody effed Devin up, but maybe just like, okay, you know what? I respect Ibn and how he likes to run his ship, and how Cody likes to run his ship. So I'm gonna leave that one aside. So sure. Maybe it's that, you know.
Whatever it is, at least we found out a little bit. I'm sure Bill will come back. He's always listening. He might pop the fuck up. I would love it too, Bill. FYI. But you can take over while I pull up these questions from the people, because I put out a post letting them know that you would come on.
Gotcha. Cody, April 16th, just talk to us. A few weeks away now. How's camp been and how have you been feeling?
I'm excited, man. It's my first, my last fight was my first time on a big network on Showtime. This is my first time on a pay-per-view, which makes it even that much more intriguing to me, to my fans, to the people who know who Cody Crowley is, to the 25 plus world champions that I've been in the ring with. I just haven't had the opportunities and the positions to showcase everything that I'm capable of. And this is another opportunity that's presented itself, and I'm going to take 100% advantage of it. I've been working at this professionally now for over 7 years. And it's, I came to Vegas with the 10-year game plan. I was going to give up absolutely everything. From 21 to 31, I'll be a world champion within that 10-year span. We're 7 years in and 20-0 right now. Like I said, I believe I've been a world champion my whole entire life. So it's only a matter of time before I get proclaimed that from the rest of the world. In my eyes, I am a world champion. I'm still here every day. That's what me and my coach trained to do. To us, this isn't really a job or an obligation, or we really don't care how we look. We're just having fun every single day and trying to become a better person every day. So this boxing game, it's so crazy, man, because it puts so much mental stress on a person, just like how Ibn said, we're trying to get away from all that trash talk and talk shit and everything. We're just trying to become better people. And when I'm walking in my very first pay-per-view, the weight that puts on somebody, the pressure, the stress, sometimes it makes it not fun. So I try to just say, fuck that. I don't care who I'm fighting in front of. It's just another day in the office for me and Ibn. So I'm more than excited. And I have a feeling April 16th, a whole bunch of the world is going to know who Cody Crowley is. Not only the fighter, but the person.
How exciting is it for you? I've been in Dallas when Earl fights down there at Cowboy Stadium, and seeing nearly 50,000 people, it's a different experience, and I know you can attest to that. Right. How excited are you for the stage itself? There's the pay-per-view stage, but there's the physical stage itself. How exciting is that, or is it not exciting for you? Or
it's absolutely everything that I've worked for. Since I was 13 years old, 14 years old,
right.
I would train for hours and hours a day all alone in my garage. I had nobody there in the pure dark. So to do that for, a decade just for this opportunity to perform in front of 50,000 people live with hopefully, over 1 million people watching on the TV, it's a dream come true. And I just want to be present for it. I want to feel it. I'm not even worried about the fight. When we get there on fight night, it's just gonna be me and my coach, salt and pepper, enjoying our time and dancing in the ring.
How'd you guys connect? Him being from Baltimore, you're not from Baltimore.
No. When I first came to Vegas, I had a guy who was helping me out at the time, and he basically just kind of dropped me on Ibn's doorstep, like, yo, here's the trainer, go try it out. And I think I did pads with Ibn for like 10 minutes, and then he's like, all right, go in the bag. And then, he kind of he kind of told the guy who brought me in, like, I don't know about this. If you got money invested in this kid, just, don't try and lose any more money.
So is this your Earl Spence to your Derek James, or have you had another elite level fighter?
Yeah, I've had other elite level fighters, but this is though, I would liken it to that analogy. I've had him from amateur and turning pro, and he, like he said, he very was lacking of skill. He was just very crude, and I didn't see anything in him when he first came, and like he said it right. I said the guy dropped him at my doorstep to critique him, and before he started investing money in him, he wanted to just know my opinion. So I was like, listen, bro, just save your money. This guy's got no skill. He has no skill. I wouldn't.
How old were you at the time? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
21?
No, he was 20.
20?
Yeah,
20.
Yeah, he was 20. And I just, I was just telling him what my opinion was.
And at that time, was he an amateur?
Yeah, he was an amateur still. So I would just, I knew what this guy had world champions. So I knew what this guy was looking for when he, so I was just telling him that when I said he didn't have any skill, I was meaning that he needed to be built, not that he couldn't, become something, obviously, but it was a lot of work that needed to be done. And for the level that this guy wanted him to be at, he was not nowhere near there. He was not ready to turn pro at all, So that's why when he did get the contract with Top Rank and they started moving him, and they tried to put it with, I think, Danny Saldivia or something like that.
Saldivia, okay,
yeah.
The 54-pounder.
Yeah, but I think at the time he was fighting 47, I think. Maybe.
Really? He probably was going to suck down.
I think. I'm not sure.
No, he started at 54.
It was?
Yeah.
But they tried to put us with him at, what, 3 and when we was like 3 and 0,
We were
2 and 0.
What?
We were 2-0 and he was 6-0.
Right. And they wanted us to fight him. He's from California, right? And
wow. So 6-0. This was a long time ago.
Yeah, it's a long time ago. He was only 2 and 0. This is when he first turned pro. And I told them, no, I don't want to fight. He's not ready. I didn't even want to turn pro. He was not ready at all. Yeah. But they were moving him, so I was like, all right, let me work with him a little bit more. He's got something. At this point in time, he taught me that it's more to boxing than just having just the God-given natural abilities and skill. There's will, there's determination, and those things can bring you to where you need to be at. So I had started work. That became his asset. That was going to be his driving force to get him to where he is right now, because he slowly started to learn those other types of things. So I just wanted a little bit of time to work with him, and that's when we chose to separate from Top Rank. It was an amicable separation,
and everyone thought we were crazy.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, how did you take that? Because you're giving up a major. Like
coming from Canada, where first of all it's hard enough getting a visa to stay over here as a fighter, and then to get signed to one of the biggest promotional companies, sign a 5-year contract. It was like it looked like I was on the gravy train, for success. It would have been absolutely perfect. So believe what, like, everybody thought we were crazy. Fans, people supporting us, even my own family. They're like, yo, you're standing at the end of the rainbow. There's a pot of gold right there. And, this man is kind of telling you, yo, let's go walk behind that building in the shadow. Let's go down that alley and see what happened.
What made you follow his guidance?
Because I was a kid who had a 50-50 amateur record from Canada.
50-50, how many fights?
Like 65, 70. I lost my very first fight to
lost 75 fights?
No, like 50. I had 60, 70 fights.
So you lost half, though, because you said 50-50.
Yeah. Before that, I lost my very first fight to a female as a kickboxer when I was 14 years old, and it was co-ed at that age. So a kid coming from absolutely nothing, complete garbage, to this man giving me the advice, the skills, and the tools to be in the ring with world champions on a daily basis, and not only just survive, but actually go and give them a run for their money while I was still an amateur or only 1 or 2 pro fights. So how could I not take the information he was giving me and hold value to it?
But where were you at financially? Because most people driven to this sport come from the inner city. So to turn down a 5-year contract that means stability for you and your family, did you have children? I just want to know, because, right now Devin Haney is getting a lot of love because of the decision he chose to make. Get into this situation that probably isn't ideal for everyone in terms of the contract. So it sounds kind of the same situation for you, where you had to choose.
Yeah, it was very, very tough. I was living off $500 a month with my girlfriend at the time, who was living here with me. from Canada. We were renting a room in somebody's apartment. It was tough, but I was lucky to have family and a support system also back home in Canada, who would help me financially in times when I did need it. And also a coach who would, give you the shirt off his back if you need it.
Wow. So it's been a long journey for you.
Yes. And that's another reason why we went back to Canada, because down here, when we wouldn't play with any of the big players like that and trying to take our own time, we didn't have resources or funding to take our time. So what did we have to do? We had to create our own resources and funding. So that's why we went back to Canada. That's why we started our own promotional company. That's why we started to really grow my fan base into the roots of Canada, go back and start working with other boxing programs, go back and give other fighters just like me who were trying everything they could to have success in boxing. We were giving them platforms to go and fight on. So, they didn't have to go and leave their country, leave their family. Sign deals to promoters that, would kind of put them in the same trap that I was in. So we just went and created our own way, and it worked out pretty good.
So how many seats were you selling out there in Canada?
I would say we started in Toronto. It was like 5,000, and then we worked our way to my hometown, which was about 4,000.
Yeah, everybody said that this couldn't be done. I know everybody almost in boxing, and once we left Top Rank, they was like, bro, it's a wrap. What are y'all going to do? So we tried to go to Mexico route, and get a couple fights down there, but it just wasn't enough to maintain a decent living. So when we went to Canada, to his hometown, a small Peterborough, there's never been a fight there. No one knows boxing at all. So it was like, yo, y'all just wasting your time. And we just stayed true to what we believed in and sold that thing out and used that money to subsidize our living.
And is that the Hershey Center?
No, that was the Peterborough Memorial Center. And
which fight was that? I'm on your box rack here. Oh, okay, so the Edgar Ortega fight?
Numerous.
There was 4.
No, but I want to know when it started. Because he obviously has some American fights with being with Top Rank. He split.
Yeah, it might have been the Ortega fight was the first
the
one.
Ortega fight was the first one in Peterborough.
So yeah. I want to know the transition, because it looks like you did 2 in Hershey Center.
Yeah, we fought in Hershey Center. We were doing some things. I was paying my own way onto other shows.
So those were not your cards.
No, not my own promotion.
Those were the testers. What happened was we were at California.
We were in California once again trying to get our own fights.
Right.
We just showed up. We weren't even guaranteed a fight. We drove 4 hours. I went and cut my weight. Went to weigh in. No opponent. So we're sitting in the parking lot, and I'm scrolling on Instagram like, oh shit, Ibn, there's a fight in Ontario in 3 weeks from now.
Yep.
Like, okay, maybe we can buy our way on. So I called the promoter, and they're like, yeah, sure. But, we need basically money guaranteed up front. So we guaranteed it, and we ended up selling, I think I sold like $17,000 or $18,000 in ticket sales in 24 hours.
Nice.
He set us up. He really set us up for failure, because he only gave us ringside seats to sell. And he was like, "You got
100 plus."
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah.
It was
no $25.
No, it was a bunch of them available. But he told us, "No, you gotta, this is all we have available. If you can sell these, and you can get on."
Every one of your fans is driving 2.5, 3 hours to the venue. So it was really tough. And when we realized that we could do that 3 hours away from our hometown, it's like, what about if people didn't have to carpool and bus? What about if we could bring it to our own town? And that's when we started talking to the city councilors. We started talking to different people in the city to help organize. My family started to organize. And then me and Ibn went to work. We would be training, morning and night, and then working away on these little iPhones for 8 hours a day, promoting a show from another country, selling it out, while also training to headline it from another country. And then we show up, and we would be going to schools. We would be going, signing autographs, taking pictures at local car businesses.
Who would be setting this up though?
Me, Ibn, and my family.
Wow.
And so when we landed there, like, okay, you know what? Training camp's over. We fight in 2 weeks. We've been working 12-hour, 16-hour days. When we got there, it wasn't over. When we got there, it just begun.
That's when the work
Now
started.
we had to go and talk to, a couple hundred kids out of school at a time right after training, then rush to go get recovery, then rush door to door, knocking on doors, selling tickets.
Door to door.
Literally door to door. We had to do everything possible because we didn't have another option. Wow. And we made
out the mud.
And it wasn't a boxing town. They didn't know. They never saw boxing. They was just like, all right, well, hometown hero. That was the hook we was going with. Let's support your hometown boy trying to live his big dream. And we sold that idea to all the people that didn't understand or know boxing. And so that's what they were doing, supporting.
Coach, what was that experience like for you though?
Especially being an American. Going to Canada, knocking on people's door, that had to be new for you.
A pepper American, you know what I mean? So, bro, it was great, man. Like I always been.
Oh my God, they know me. I'm notorious for interrupting, but you talked about knocking on doors. Were they really open?
What do you mean were they open?
That's the thing in Canada, right? Like they say everybody's door's fucking open.
Yeah.
I mean, you can go. They do just walk in your house there, like they do that.
Why do you guys keep your doors open? That's crazy.
Because I know where I was staying at. We stayed with his grandmother in the basement. People would just randomly walk in, and I'm like, oh no, they're not here. And I'm just there.
They don't even knock. It's like, yo, is Cody here?
Yeah, or they might come in, grab something to drink or something like that. And I'm sitting there, I'm like,
if you like run out of milk in the morning for your cereal, you just go next door
and grab.
You go in, grab it, leave a note. Yo, I'll bring a liter of milk.
Yeah, that's true. That's what they
tomorrow.
Do. Yeah.
What is the population in that town, bro?
Like, it was like 80,000.
That's a decent sized town.
Yeah, that's the city. I was from just outside of that.
Okay.
Where my elementary school, I had like 8 kids in my class, 10 kids in my class.
No wonder, because you got to be cool with your neighbor for him to just walk in like, yo, Danny.
And
I took that last piece of pie. I was only here for a glass of milk, but I seen that last piece of pie.
You don't take the last piece. You don't do that.
So think about the mentality that people had too. And then all of a sudden, Cody left town. He left everybody. He went to America, and then he comes back with Big Ib. And this guy's like kind of like making things happen, order things around, do this, do that, do that. There was a lot of eyeballs on him. Like, who is this guy? Mm-hmm. Who does this guy think he is? Yo, that's never gonna work. Get out of here,
Cody. Get away from him.
Get away
he's gonna
from
take you
him.
down.
Yeah,
I get all that.
I was being pulled a lot between family, relatives, and my boxing coach. It was pretty
so.
crazy.
Your family didn't trust him.
Well, I'm not gonna say they didn't trust him. They're all
his ideas.
Your family is always looking out for your best interest, right? And people only know what they know. So leaving a successful multi-million-dollar promotional company to rock in the minivan with Ib and go knocking on doors, what do you expect, right? But Ibn is a visionary. Yes. Ibn can see things that other people can't see. And I knew that, and I believed in it.
That's what's up, man.
And now we're here.
So obviously it worked,
yes.
But did it help, I guess, to bring you back to America, or did it help to get you the PBC deal?
We always wanted that freedom. That's the one thing Ibn was always. So
right now you're a free agent.
Freedom. No, I'm signed with PBC right now. But we always wanted that freedom. That's why we went and we had our own promotional company, and my career was in my own hands. And we were doing everything we could, but funds got limited. Then we even, Canada still didn't believe in us.
Wow.
We went and grabbed a network here in the States. We went and did a deal with Dana White for our last show and brought UFC Fight Pass to Canada to help fund bigger opponents.
How'd you guys do that? That's awesome, man. Like, because, your story is similar to Saddam Ali, except different, because he was a declarated amateur, and you got a major deal, and he was offered multiple major deals and decided to go independent. He sold about 2,000 tickets every time out in the Aviator Center, and then, you know, Golden Boy and Al Heyman needed they needed him because of the Barclays Center. They did that deal with Barclays Center. He's from Brooklyn. It just all made sense to sign at that time versus all the offers he had got in the past. So I'm just assuming that all this running around, all this footwork was worth it now because you turned it down. You turned the contract down so many years ago.
Yeah, we it was worth it, but like I said, we got to a point where we didn't have the funds to keep building me up and do what we wanted to do, and that's where we sat down and we talked, and it made sense to go and lock arms with somebody who could fund, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars for opponents or $1 million.
Well, also they have PBC has all the 147 pounders. So you at some point you gotta, you know, get in bed and do work, but you always still gotta also maintain your own identity of who you are, and that's what we always try to do. You know, it's gotta make sense to us, you know, and we just want to kind of set the example for everybody else, all these up and coming guys. You asked us how we got the Fight Pass deal. I would like to think we got that through just our connections, just knowing people, just being good, respectful, like exactly like we do with Devin Haney and all of them, you know, so people start to respect that aspect of us. So when we come to these people and ask these people for things, or they're always trying to help us because they know there's no evil intentions behind it. So they want to help. They want to help you. You know what I mean? They see you doing things that can help the business and stuff like that. So that's how we got a bunch of deals that we got, just by being good people.
So was it easy to convince the PBC that a Canadian was going to be a good signing? Because I think the last time they signed somebody would be Lucian Bute, Phil LaGreco.
Bro, we were fooled. We were fooled. That's what we were.
For who?
For one of their opponent fighters. That's what I believe. I think that it was like, okay, you know, you had a Canadian American who has a great, I think at the time we were 17-0.
Yes.
17-0. Is, you know, why not just take him and feed him to one of our champions? Nobody believed in us. Why would they? We've done nothing, even to this point. Why would you believe in us at this point? We're still.
I mean, you beat Quadritillo at this point.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't respect Quadritillo. They think that he wasn't supposed to be there in the first place. We know what we can do. You know, like everybody else knows what we can do. I've had this guy in the ring with all the champions. You name them, we've been in there. You know, from Devin Haney to Tank, Durante, you know, Ugas, all of them. You know, we've been in there with everything. I know what we can do, and the people in the boxing scene know, but they don't. You guys don't know. I mean, unless you really do study Quadritillo and realize that was a difficult fight. Other people don't think that. So we were just, you know, a good record that you got to, you know, that's the business of boxing. You need to feed your champions. So he would have been somebody, he was feeder food. So that's why it made sense for them to sign us. And now at this point, I believe now, even going into this fight, you guys are really going to start to know who Cody is. Furthermore, Cody is still becoming what we want him to be. So we need these fights. You know, it's been long layoffs where we couldn't fight. He's been going through his own problems. You know, this is boxing. You know, the mental aspect of it is very deep and it holds you back. And not, you know, just all the pressure we've been going through and not being able to fight and PBC trying to give you fights here, but they got so many COVID hitting and so many layoffs and all that kind of stuff, and then promising you this, and they're trying their best, but they can't do it because they're promising this person that and all that kind of stuff. And all that stress. So you haven't really seen Cody Crowley. You're going to begin to see him now. The world doesn't know what's here in front of him.
What's in front of us?
I believe the best fighter at 147. I believe 100% that he could beat Terrence Crawford, Ugas, what's his name? Spence. I believe he can beat all of them. And that's no disrespect to them. That's how much I believe in my fighter.
10 times out of 10?
I believe he beats them. Now, I believe the current Earl Spence, I don't believe he's the same anymore. You know, just to be real, the older.
Why? Because a lot of people feel that way, but he keeps taking these fights to ensure that we get that out of our mind. Like, he looked good in the Danny Garcia fight, and if Danny.
Well, I lost respect for Earl. Not respect. My opinion of Earl went down when he let me down and he didn't stop Mikey Garcia. From that point on, I just either Mikey Garcia was just way better than what I thought.
But some people don't want to be knocked out. You can't knock out a guy, right? You're in the ring. It's hard to knock out a guy that doesn't want to be knocked out.
But my opinion was Errol Spence can beat anybody. I'm telling you how high of an opinion I had of him. So maybe that brought me down to reality. I was like, man, he's going to punish Mikey. He 2 weight classes below him. He's the truth. Earl's is he's a 154 pounder fighting at 147. He's got great defense. He places his punches right. He's going to beat the dog piss out of him. He's going to stop him. And I'm like, bro, he didn't. I was disappointed. So then I had to recheck what I thought about Errol Spence. So he wasn't this unstoppable force that nobody, just the truth like that.
But isn't he? He just went through a tragic accident, took 10 months off, and then fought Danny.
Yeah, so that took a little bit of that wearing, that shine off of him. I don't know. I need to see how he looks.
I don't know. I think anyone in this boxing world go through what he went, they ain't fighting Danny and they ain't fighting Ugas. So not even in the time frame that I believe anybody else would have took. Look, perfect case, and no disrespect intended because it's totally different. But Daniel Jacobs, he had like 5 after being diagnosed and beating cancer. He had 5 like tune-ups, legit tune-ups that aren't a Danny or a Ugas. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I think I don't know. I get what you're saying. That the accident is tragic. Then you got the eye injury. So
in the time,
those possibilities are there. But I feel like he's trying to show us with his actions. Why are we thinking that? Look at the level of opposition I'm facing. If I was hurt or not 100, I wouldn't be fighting these guys, is what I want to assume anyway.
But I'm not saying that he's not good. I'm not saying that he's not a great fighter.
No. I'm talking about 100%.
No, he's definitely not 100%. I can't say that. I don't see it. Maybe, now again, let's give some respect to the accident. So maybe he's on his way back to climbing to be 100%. And this Ugas fight is going to, I'm looking at that fight. I'm looking to see if, he's going to work his way back up. But to me, the Errol Spence, remember, I'm telling you how my opinion of him was. So the Errol Spence that I know should have knocked out Danny Garcia as well. That's my Errol Spence that I say, he the truth. He's going to beat everybody. You know what I mean? So
no man down. No man down.
I mean, that's what I thought.
Cody, how you feel? I mean, you've seen everything transpire for Errol Spence and you've seen his comeback fights. Where do you think he's at in the welterweight division? Is he 100%?
I think he's one of the top, and he's just going to continue to keep winning. I don't see him losing this fight. I got all the respect for him. Hats off to him. The dude got flown out of a car. The dude then comes back and tries to go and fight and shows up at the doctor, and the doctor's like, no, you got a detached retina. You can't even see. Who are you trying to fool? You've been seeing double for the last couple of years, and he's still in there fighting. So to even go and sit there and say anything about the man or bad about the man, the dude's doing more than most people who are doing the talking. So I got nothing but respect for the man.
So your trainer, first name out of his mouth was Terrence Crawford, where many, I want to believe, many seem to think he's the guy to beat Earl. But obviously your trainer said you can beat Terrence, and that name first. Now, obviously he mentioned Ugas and Earl.
Yeah.
But it was interesting to me that Terrence was first.
I think he sees the styles, and he sees the principles that we'd be applying. You see what Porter looked real good. He was, in my eyes, in our eyes, he was winning that fight. And you've seen him get knocked off balance. He wasn't hurt, nothing. And we know exactly what I was doing with Porter. I got called to that camp, just like many others, and I showed up there and went and did a couple rounds and then left the camp because I had to go and focus on my own stuff, and it wasn't serving me for the better. I'm watching a guy go in there and do that, and I know what I'm capable of. So he knows what I'm capable of. It makes total sense that, a little younger, a little more juice in the battery,
Wow,
And
you
Porter
think you have more
Porter could've
juice than
went.
Porter in the back? And
Well-
I know Porter retired. I know people said he had 1 foot out the door. I know he said he was thinking of retirement, but do you believe there'll be another? Like, I don't see any, like, oh, he's going to be like we've lost that style. Just like we lost Margarito. I don't think we'll ever get another Porter. So, yeah, even though he was like 1 foot out, I don't see him as juiceless, right? He's still, like you said, he was winning at the time.
Yeah, but
that style is so on top of you.
I'm just saying when you compare the two batteries, when my battery was in there with his battery, I feel like there was more juice in my battery.
Got you.
And two styles that are identical. Two guys going forward and banging it out.
For sure. Can we make sure that Cody's name is on screen, please? So I got a couple of questions here from the people. Let me see who's first. Sorry. Right now we're joined by Cody Crowley and his trainer, Ibn
Cason.
I had a childhood friend named Ibn. I got James Valdez says he's from San Antonio. I'm a Joseto fan, but in all honesty, I see you winning that fight. My question, were you told who your next possible opponent would be if you came out victorious? Everybody's always worried about what's next, right? Sucks, man. Because for you guys, you got to get past him before you can even think about it.
Yeah, I haven't been told no names. I haven't thought about it.
Really? They don't dangle no carrot like, hey, if you win.
No, and to be honest, that it doesn't mean shit if they do.
Oh.
Why am I putting my attention, my energy, and my focus on something that may or may not even happen? The only thing that's in front of me right now that's guaranteed is Lopez.
That's not guaranteed. We ain't even fighting yet.
Yeah, I've been in the locker room while Pepper here is taping my hands, and they come in and say, "Yo, the fight's off." No fight.
Damn.
So we honestly I don't even consider having a fight until I walk into the ring.
Is it hard to get into go time because of that?
Our second fight here in Vegas at the Cosmopolitan, I was supposed to fight at 4 p.m. So we're in the locker room warming up at 3. Next thing you know, we just start to leave the locker room. They go, no, it's canceled. No, not canceled. It's pushed back. Just wait. So we sat back for an hour. Then we come up again at 5, and they're like, all right, you're up. This time we just leave the locker room. They go, oh, no, actually, you're the swing bout. You're the swing bout now, so we don't know. You just got to stay ready. We got further every time. We left the locker room 6 times.
Wow.
The last time we got right to almost the ring, and they go, no. It was a quick knockout on the East Coast. HBO's coming back here right now for the main event. So we ended up fighting at 1 a.m.
It's a Top Rank show.
1 a.m. when we were supposed to fight at 4. So
Wow.
a locker room, no food, no nothing.
Well, you wouldn't have eaten anyway, right? Or would you
So,
have eaten something?
Sitting there starving with your adrenals just pumping through the roof, your anxiety, your emotions, you get amped up. And then you get let down. You get amped up, and then you get let down. You get amped up, and you get let down.
I've seen that happen so many times, and it's like I'm there sometimes for the entire card, and if it's a guy, that like a young guy coming up that I want to see, they throw him on early. It's happened to where a guy, same thing, fighting. He was supposed to fight at like 3, fought after the main event at like 11 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, it's unbelievable.
But Ibn, I gotta ask you how. Well, that was the Top Rank deal. Is that sort of thing happening now? Because I want to believe that when you came to the table, you proved he was a ticket seller now, and he also had the undefeated record. So has treatment been any better, or are you still a standby?
No. I mean, we're on a different level now. I mean, with PBC, everything has been televised with them, so you have to be on at a certain time. The first fight was on Fox, so we had to be on at that time. The next fight we did with PBC was on undercard, the co-main of No. So you have to be on. So you ain't got to worry about that when when you're doing that. Like the next fight is on a pay-per-view, so we'll be the first lead off for the opening. So we know what.
But they have technically only given you 2 fights or 3 fights, one per year,
This is the third fight. Again,
Yeah.
and one a year.
Yeah, it was supposed to. I signed a 4-fight contract for 14 months. Wasn't it 14 months? It was supposed to be something.
You were supposed to get 4 fights in 14 months.
I mean, let's not even go there with all that. But that's the thing.
I love it, but Ibn, you're so business. He's like, look, we don't need to put that out there.
Yeah,
Ruin relationships. I hear you, champ.
They had, you know,
It's been a situation. Come on, the last 3 years,
it's hard for everybody.
No one expected COVID, so
Right.
I get you.
So they've done their best. PBC has done their best, and we're happy with them. And you know, we understand because we are promoters ourselves, so we understand how hard it is to put fights on. How many times some of the stories we've had fights is crazy.
Now, did you do a co-promotion or did you guys just?
No.
Did your license is now inactive?
No, I don't like to talk about stuff like that either. I'm just like, you know, let's just.
Yo, Devin just signed a co-promotion.
I mean, that's Devin Haney. That's what Devin Haney likes to do. PBC is our promoter. They're doing their thing and they're doing their best. So let's keep it like that.
Hey, I see why you brought him, man. He ain't gonna let us dig. Okay, we got Scott, the Christian fight fan. What's up, champ? Who do you got being the winner in the Haney versus Kambosos fight?
Haney. Easy.
Easy.
In my opinion.
What do you see in Kambosos? Wow, you have a different opinion. We're going to you next. I see your smile. I see your smile, and I see the first face you made. Get out of here. I seen it. I seen it.
No.
All these cameras rolling, by the way.
To be honest, I don't know really anything about what is it,
Kambosos.
Kambosos. I've never even watched one of his fights.
Not even a Teo fight.
No, I haven't watched that. To be honest, bro, I don't like watching boxing. I don't watch boxing. I don't go to boxing. One of the last fights I went to was the Ugas, Ugas Pacquiao, and I was there, and I left after the second or third round. It's just
why?
If I'm fighting, I love it. If it's somebody I know and I care about that's in the ring, then I'm emotionally involved and I like it. But other than
those
that,
are your division. Like that's your division. You walked away from the fight in your division with the last legend.
Boxing doesn't mean anything like that to me.
Wow.
Boxing's a vehicle that I get to use. Boxing's a job, and I get to use that to motivate and inspire people. And that's all I'm here to do is motivate and inspire people. You know, you had a kid from a small town, country town with 8 kids in his class with him. Now being able to show that you can go and do anything you want if you put your mind to it. Once again, I lost my very first fight to a female, and here I am boxing the greatest fighters in the world. You can do anything you want. People say they can't lose weight. Fuck that. Yeah, you can. People say they can't beat cancer. Fuck that. Yeah, you can. You can do whatever you want. That's what I'm here to show.
That's what's up. I got Steve in the UK. Hey, champ, thanks for coming on the show. You said earlier that boxing makes it hard for you to stick around. Have you walked away before? And if so, what keeps you coming back? Steve in the UK.
What keeps me coming back is a promise that I made to myself, is that I would become a world champion. If I walk away before I'm a world champion, I'm a quitter. So boxing was everything to me.
What's going on, champ? Why you lost the love?
I see things differently now,
because of the politics.
The politics, everything. What, my hand being raised means that I'm better than the person next to me? No, that doesn't mean I'm better than the person next to me. Yeah, I beat the dude in that time and space in that moment, but this is another human being who deserves just as much right to be on this earth and live as I do. If I got 2 slices of bread, I'm gonna have one and I'm gonna give this guy one. That's the way I see life now. I treat everybody as if they're me.
Why you say now? Did something happen? Did you have your own Earl Spence moment?
2 years ago in 2019, I was diagnosed with fatty liver disease, lupus, autoimmune, kidney issues.
Oh, wow.
All those fights in Canada, you've seen me. I was the last one with the UFC Fight Pass. My mom comes to hug me, kiss me before she heads to the arena, and I'm in bed crying an hour before I go to the arena because I can't even stand. That's how sick I was. So I had to go and heal my whole entire body. So I was literally, I was going to commit suicide. My body was giving out on me. All my organs were failing. And so I just had a spiritual moment one day. Woke up, started meditating, started doing breath work, started seeing the whole world differently. And since then, boxing doesn't mean anything to me.
So did you have like a dream that night? Because you said from you woke up, you had like a spiritual awakening, but
well,
was there a revelation? Is there testimony there for us religious people?
I've had out of body experiences. I've had I see things all the time, all sorts of crazy stuff that I don't really want to get into. But boxing, I was so stuck in my head to become the best ever that, I missed best friends' funerals, weddings. I just didn't care. I was a shitty person because my heart and my mind was only set on becoming a world champion. So I didn't care about the people around me.
But champ, I mean, to be great, right? You have to make sacrifices. Does that really make you a shitty person?
True.
No. But at the time, I didn't. Yeah, you can make sacrifices, but you can still care.
Yeah.
Right. At the time, I was making sacrifices, but I didn't care. Boxing made me very, very, very cold. Now.
But wait, did you think you needed to be meaner?
Yes.
Like I'm getting it. I gotta. So
Yes.
you got cold because of that?
Yes, I had to create this like armor.
Yes.
This shield of protection that really kind of took me away from being Cody. It brought me to the crippler, right? That was my identity. That's who I was. I didn't have no emotion. I didn't have no attachment to anybody. All I cared about was killing the man in front of me. I will endure more pain than you and make you suffer. And what do you see me do in the ring? I literally go and punish the person until they really can't move. That's what I do. I swarm people and I try and put them in as much pain as they can possibly endure until they quit. That's what happens. Two people are fighting. All of a sudden you can't move your legs. You can't move your hands. You're tired. And someone just keeps beating on you. That's what I do. And that's what got created from the crippler. And that's just not who I am anymore.
So, as we sit here today, where would you say you're at right now? Do you feel like now that you've gone through this, do you feel like right now you're probably in the best place that compared to before?
Yeah, mentally, yeah, because I don't care. I was so attached to winning. I thought that people would only like me and accept me if I won.
Right.
Now you see my last two fights. My last fight, I went in there, beat the #1 contender, and I didn't care. Shoot, even up into the weigh-in, I didn't care if I won, if the fight was happening, if it got canceled tomorrow. I didn't care. I was just happy being in the moment, enjoying the time with my coach. Doing what we do.
You look so much bigger than Quadratrulo. Jesus. How many inches?
Oh, I'm 5'10".
No. But how many inches taller than him do you think you were? You seem so much taller, no?
Same height.
Really?
Same height.
Wow. I'm watching the highlights. I guess it's because he's bending down. He looks shorter. You look massive, bro. Come on. Give me a screen share real quick. Look at that. All right.
I'm a big
PBC getting mad.
I'm a big 147 pounder. But yeah, I don't think I'm that big. I'm 5'10".
I got the best dad ever in Baltimore. Thanks for coming on the show, champ. I'm betting on you, so don't let me down. 2 laughing out loud emojis. Shout out to Salt and Pepper Duo. And from a Baltimore guy, I'm happy you putting us on the map, coach. How do y'all feel about Tank?
I think
any personal stories being from Baltimore? Have you ever met him? Trained?
Yeah, we spar Tank.
Oh, that's right. He just said that.
Yeah. Tank I like Tank. He's a really good kid.
Would it happen to have been the same day that Porter sparred him?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. We made it special. This was a real gym war.
Oh yeah.
This was a bona fide gym war. Because,
Why? You guys had a back and forth. It was something. Had
yeah.
to get off.
Well, what happened was, because it was a gym war, I could tell this story. Because it was a gym war.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm from Baltimore. We came back to help Jared Hurd. You know, I forgot who he sparred, but it was some southpaw.
Wait, Cody sparred Jared Hurd too?
Yeah.
That dude's always a big 54. So when he's not weighing in,
he was big. He was huge.
I'm
it was like
sure.
a pit bull and a chihuahua. You know, like that type of thing.
Wow.
So we
Cody
you know,
was the pit bull.
I'm a respectfully decline. It was good. It was good. It was great work. How about that?
No, I just flipped it because you being the smaller man, they automatically gonna think that Jared was the pit bull.
Yeah. It was a lot of respect there. You know, Jared is our people's. But anyway, while we were there, you know, of course, I'm going back to Baltimore. We go down to talk to Tank and all that. You know, and he was actually he told you he was sick. You know, he had some kind of problems that we didn't know what was going on, but he was sick, and we had went and sparred Iceman, Malik Hawkins.
Yeah.
And,
man, he retired.
Yeah, he retired. But you know, while we were there sparring, Tank was on the outside the ring. That's his little brother kind of like thing, right?
So he ain't like you picking on Malik.
So that went how it went, right? So you know, we talking trash because that's what I do. You know, I'm from Baltimore. I talk trash. You know, especially you got a white guy in the all black gym in the hood and all that kind of stuff. So I'm really talking trash for Cody because Cody don't talk.
Yeah.
And they trying to get under his skin, so I got to defend them. I'm like, yeah, what's going on? You know, we having that little trash talk thing going on, and so after he finished sparring Malik, Tank tried to jump in the ring like I'm gonna glove up, I'm gonna glove up, and I was like, nah, you're not gonna just jump in there, you know. And
catch my guy tired.
I said, if you want, we give you the work though. You know, you can get it, but you know, all right, come back tomorrow. So whatever happened, we couldn't do it.
So I set it up.
So yeah, but the trash talk kept going on for months. Like like
were you doing anything on social media?
No, it wasn't like that. It was just like, yo, all right, don't worry, we going. It was a happy trash talk, like
for sure,
you know
internal too between camps.
Yeah, it was just like we would just when we come back, I'm gonna get the boy, and I'm gonna show him. Don't worry, I'm gonna show the, you know what I mean, type of thing like that, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, yeah, we gonna see. We give it to you too. You know, you can get it. You know, blah blah blah. So then a couple months went by. We finally came back. You know what I mean? And he was sick, right?
Who? Cody?
Cody was sick,
okay,
right?
okay.
We didn't know what was going on with him, but we had already talked trash so much. So it was like, all right. You know, we're gonna spar. You know, we coming down there. We can't not show up. And I'm like, yo, Cody, you sure you? He's like, nah, bro. We said we here. We got to spar now. I'm like, all right, bro. But you know, I mean, it's Tank. You know what I mean? So I'm watching this. If something's happening, I'm pulling you out. So it's gonna be a stoppage. If I feel like you get, I don't care. I'm not gonna let you sit there and get beat up. You know what I mean? It was because he didn't feel good.
And when was this though?
A couple years ago now, because COVID happened. That was 2 years gone. So maybe a year before COVID.
A year before, would that be after or before Ivan Redcat sparring? In the blue.
Oh, that was after.
After. Okay.
I don't know all that.
Ivan was after.
Yeah.
Okay. Continue, coach.
So anyway, we came down there. We so what I did was I said, look, bro, how many rounds are we going? Because I want to know. Because I already know in my brain. I already know this quicker, smaller guy. Even though Tank wasn't that small, he was just, because he was big. This wasn't, he wasn't fighting, so he's big. But I knew he was going to dig up in Cody for a couple rounds because I already knew what we had to do. So I said, how many rounds we going? How many rounds y'all want to go? I said, well, I mean, whatever y'all want to do. Well, whatever y'all want to do. It was that kind of banter. Yeah. So then I'm like, all right, well, let's go 10. And he was like, all right, 10. I said, you sure we going 10? Because, I'm developing my plan because it's a gym war.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not,
and he's notorious for getting out.
Yeah. So, yeah, exactly. Right. So it was like, all right, bam, we're going 10. And once we got
Did y'all
that,
get the 10?
Of course we didn't get the 10. You know what I mean?
I told you.
So, but I'm going to tell you what he did. He was beating the dog piss out of Cody. I mean, it was like every round Cody was coming back. I was like, you good? He was like, nah, coach, I'm good. I mean, Cody's all bloodied up because Tank, bro, he's phenomenal, bro. He's the guy's phenomenal. I think he's the best. I think he's got the most gifted fighter out there. I had to give that to him.
Have you seen Shakur?
Yeah, I've seen Shakur, of course. But Tank is on. To me, Tank is better than all. As far as natural gifts, bro, the boy's ring IQ is stupid, yo, bro. I'm telling you, it's good.
More than Devin.
Tank, for me, yeah, for sure. I give Tank. Now that don't mean that Devin couldn't beat him in a fight or not. I'm just saying his natural abilities, what he can do, his ring IQ, I like him more because I think he could do more things. You know, Devin got some things that I would like to see him learn. Devin's he would be probably between. I would put Devin and Shakur as far as natural ability though, because they both of them got natural abilities. They on that same level. But Tank, I believe, is above as far as natural abilities. Mm-hmm. But again, if they fought each other, you know, it'd be a different story. You know, Devin works hard, bro. He works hard, and that's part of winning too. You know, your work, your surroundings, all that kind of stuff factors into when you go, who's going to win the fight between the two. But natural ability wise, Tank is number one in my book.
He ain't finished that sparring story.
Okay.
I'm just saying. Well, so he beat the piss out of Cody. You know, Cody was coming. When I say he beat the piss out of Cody, I mean he was just landing the better shots. Cody was coming forward, getting touched.
He gave y'all 6 rounds.
He gave us 6 rounds, and then he rolled out of the ring and said,
6 is his lucky number. I'm starting to see.
So about round 5 is when the tide started changing. You know, the whole time it was punch. It was punch, hold Cody. Punch, hold Cody. Punch, hold Cody. Cody trying to get him off, punch, hold for about 5 rounds. Then after about 4 rounds, by 5th round, Cody started touching him a little bit, started getting to him. I think Tank had got some nice new teeth just now, something like that. And then by the 6th round, that was it. You know, that's when the tide started changing again, and then he just rolled out of the ring, and it was respect. You know, like he was like, man, I ain't effing with that. You know, that boy tough. You know what I mean? We got out the ring, we took pictures with each other, and it was a great experience for Cody. You know what I mean?
That's good. At least he ain't rolled out acting like, you know,
it was all on my level.
That's good. That's great then. How was it for you, man? I mean,
it was great. The experience I learned from every world champion that I get in the ring with. You know, you can't buy that. And Tank is one of the most gifted fighters that I've been in the ring with. Pound for pound, he's the hardest puncher that I've ever been in the ring with.
Wow.
And I've been in the ring with everybody from Jarrett Hurd, Floyd, Timothy Bradley, Chris Algieri, Zab Judah, Jorge Linares, Francis Bartholomew, Javante, Rolly, Edward Trojanowski.
Damn, got it in with Edward.
The list goes on and on. Yeah, that was, you know, that was a crazy experience.
Before or after the knockout?
Before the knockout.
What?
Before the knockout.
World champion.
Yeah, world champion. We did we were like 30-something hours of travel over to Russia, no sleep for a day and a half to land, to then drive 4 hours, get to the Olympic Training Center, and they say, yo, you're boxing in 20 minutes.
Wow.
And then put on my gear and go box 12 rounds. So when I mean the level of stress mentally and physically that me and Ibn have had to go throughout our career, a man just standing in front of me for 36 minutes is nothing. That's why I feel like, you know, I can beat any man standing in front of me.
Mm. Don't want to interrupt you. Ruin 504 says, do you think a win over Joseto Lopez moves you up in the rankings?
Shoot, I would hope so, but I just beat the #1 IBF contender.
That was shameful.
And went backwards in the rankings.
Shameful, man.
And had other people who fought my sparring partner move up in the rankings.
Clayton. I'm trying to get Clayton in here, man. Damn.
It doesn't make sense. And actually...
Have you guys bumped into each other out here? He's out here. Which one is he in? New boxing? Great boxing?
Split T.
Split T.
I got nothing for respect. I respect every single fighter.
No, he's a welterweight. You could probably spar him.
That was a fight that we've tried to make.
Oh, really?
I've tried to make a fight with every single person, bro.
And this was while you were your own promoter in Canada? You wanted to do it in Canada, or was that a fight offered to you here in America?
That was a fight that was offered here in America.
Oh, TV, PBC then.
Yeah, but I think from Clayton's perspective, it's still got to make sense financially. You know what I mean? He wants to why take a tough fight for no money? Nobody knows Cody at this point. You know, they're starting to know Cody.
How do you know what Clayton was being offered?
I mean, I would assume that he wasn't making any money to fight Cody. Why would he be offered good money to fight Cody?
nobody really knows who I am outside the boxing.
So
community.
I'm just giving them. I'm just telling you. I'm just saying
absolutely.
that I don't think that it was beneficial. They're both Canadians. They both like that
I
title.
just assume the Ennis fight, since it had been offered to him, we've interviewed him, and according to him, he'd been offered that Ennis fight multiple times. So I think maybe it's the more risk, but there's a reward there, like you said. Until Cody makes his name.
I mean, Cody hasn't done. What has Cody done? Like,
Well, for me, the Quadratula.
I mean, before that, who was Cody Crowley?
Yeah.
Like y'all don't know Cody Crowley. What has he done? I can't even blame anybody for saying Cody can't fight or whatever, because he's. I just know because I know him in the gym. But that's
no,
it.
you're right, because outside of the Quadratula fight, I know no one.
Right. So but that's fine. We like that. So that's why people they'll fight us. Josesito Lopez.
Isn't that the unknown though? Doesn't that make you more dangerous because they don't know what you are?
I think so. If you're smart.
Yeah, I think so too. I would be. It's like, wait, we don't.
But I think more people say they look at the record. They look at where his fights been at. Most, the latest fights in Canada
and a little bit in Mexico. So they going.
Man, they're going to automatically assume that he can't fight. Oh man, he gets padded. Is a padded record. But they don't know we were getting our experiences from people like Devin Haney. Getting in that dog. Like you say, how's he going to have the experience of fighting in Dallas? Bro, fighting in front of your hometown with a packed out arena and you had to be the promoter is way more deeper than fighting in front of Dallas. I've been on all stages. So to me, when I've won world champions with fighters and been there, and I've had more energy expressed to me at his little small town hometown arena in Peterborough than on the biggest stages of the world. Mm-hmm. So I'm not. That's why I was like, bro, this is for far as mentally, he's ready for this. This is nothing for him.
But then you're not being pulled in a bunch of different ways because it's a pay-per-view and it's a big card?
How does that compare to running your own fight, your own show, and have the headline? If in this pay-per-view show, right, if Ugas and Earl don't fight, you still got a pay-per-view show. They still would just move Stanionis and them up or something like that.
I don't know about that.
Well, I mean, let's say one of them don't fight. Let's say Ugas doesn't fight. One. Then they won't. Hopefully they'll move us up. And we'll fight. Let's let that be known. If one of y'all don't make it, we will fight the other person, Ugas or Earl. It doesn't matter. Okay, but if on your own show, if Cody doesn't fight in Peterborough, you have no show. Mm-hmm. They don't want to see nobody else. They don't even know boxing. They're not coming to see boxing. They're coming to support the hometown hero. So those stresses that were on him,
then it's how much money do I owe?
It's so many. Man, now we got to just go do a couple interviews and sit back in our room and relax. We ain't got to work. We going to get paid no matter what. Please, bro, that pales in comparison to doing your own show. That stresses are nothing.
So you relax. Yes. Cool as a cucumber, huh?
Cool as a fan.
Brandon Lenz says, Cody, thanks for coming on the show and being on time. Has there been any further explanation given by the IBF as to why you ended up ranked number 14 after beating the number 1 ranked contender? And I'll just add, that's something that we've talked about before it happened to you. T.O. beat Loma and ended up being number 4 on a pound for pound. And I know pound for pound is totally different than the rankings, but I feel like if you beat the number 1, why aren't you number 1?
It's boxing.
Politics.
Look at, I was supposed to fight for my first WBA interim world title in August of 2021. I ended up popping a positive PCR test a week out. A replacement came in to fight the guy I was fighting.
PCR. Oh, what's that?
COVID.
Oh.
Knocked him down 2 or 3 times in the fight, won every single round, and they gave it to the guy I was supposed to fight. It was a clear rigged fight.
The Maestro fight you talking about.
So.
Oh, Gabriel.
Yeah, Gabriel Maestro.
Wow. So Michael Fox stepped in for you.
Yeah.
Yes. So
and that's my guy.
I'm glad he did though, because we would have had that loss.
Right. So
yeah, because that seemed like it came from the top too.
That shit was a highway robbery.
No, highway robbery. No, that was a up top call. Like one of the WBA judges, she had some shit going on with some racial shit. Then then the WBA president ends up being some sort of relative or manager of Gabe. It was some yeah, you're right.
That would have been a loss for us. We'd have dropped him a couple times and we still would have lost.
That's
and
insane.
the shitty thing is people just sit here and go, oh yeah, that was a robbery. Well, what about the dude who just trained his whole entire life for that moment and someone just totally robbed him of everything he's worked for and his whole family just for a piece of paper in their pocket, a debt note, you know?
Crazy. I gotta ask, because I'm getting it a lot in the chat, but you know, the UFC, the blonde hair, fuck, you're white. You're looking like Conor in that chair. He watches UFC. Like when you look at him quickly, no? Yeah. He said, yeah, get out of here.
When I had a big beard, yeah.
I mean, even with that beard, I feel like a quick glance is like, yo, Conor McGregor in this month.
I'm with you on that too. I feel
Thank
like
you.
That too.
This guy's a hater, bro. He hates
very
on me,
quick
man.
glance. Like if I just looked, I was like, Conor, no.
And this,
Nobody's asking you to look, Austin. Gosh.
Then he's got the UFC patch right there.
That's because you know.
And they're all in the chat like, ask him if he's got Irish blood.
I do.
You see? He's do. All right, last question. Young Tigre says, after Cobbs got destroyed, should he drop the Ric Flair act? It's total disrespect to the GOAT, Nature Boy Ric Flair. What do you think about Blair the Flair? Have you worked with Blair?
Of course.
Of course. You guys are
Who
no
the fuck
joke.
haven't y'all-
You're the new Haney's, man. Fucking Bill and Devin made it a thing to go everywhere and get that elite level work, and it sounds like that's your plan.
Yeah.
Or has been, excuse me.
Because you can learn from every single person you're in the ring with.
Yeah.
That's why, you know, even my fights, we don't train specifically just for the fighter that I'm with. Ibn will throw anybody and everybody in the ring with me to learn from.
Wow.
So, yeah, I've been in there with everybody. But
how was your time with Blair the Flair? Woo!
There wasn't a lot of woes. When I was
less than 6 rounds?
I don't even know. I don't remember.
No,
Ibn?
He was like, Cody, stop.
Ibn's the political one, Ibn.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, again, you know what? Blair the Flair was another gym war, but we're going to respectfully say that it was great work. That's all we're going to say on that.
Do you think he bounces back, or is it over?
Blair, bro. No, I think he bounces back. I think he bounces back.
What did both of you think of Earl's comments that the media is paying too much attention to a 33-year-old prospect? Do you consider Blair the Flair a prospect?
I do.
Yeah, he's a prospect.
I like him. I like what he brings. I mean, you also gotta entertain people. People just don't understand. It's about entertainment. It's about entertainment. That's the boxing. They're watching to get entertained. So if he's doing that better than you, then I mean, what's the problem with Earl Spence? Why? I mean, not Earl. Terrence Crawford. You know, he's one of the best boxers out there, but yet people don't know who he is. A lot of people still don't know who he is. Blair is bringing that entertainment value that I like. I like that. Woo,
I do.
And he can fight. And he can fight. You know, is he the best fighter out there? No, but he can fight, and I love this. I like to watch him fight. What do you think he needs?
I don't think he should drop it. That's the character that he's created.
Yeah,
you
man.
know, I think you should continue being exactly who he thinks he is.
It's funny to me.
It
Right.
is. What do you think he needs? Because he's with Freddie Roach.
Bro, I mean, I'm not even gonna get into all these fighters need something to me, but I mean, and then that's why my fighter needs something too. Everybody needs something. I don't want to get into that. Plus, we gotta get ready to go too because we gotta work. You know,
Where y'all working at?
We gotta go 9:00 at Real Boxing.
Oh, that's down the street. Who's meeting you there?
Our sparring partners.
Who? Who's the trainer? Because
What do you mean?
is Ken back?
No, I don't think he train. He doesn't train the same time we train. We train in the morning. You know, so we got our sparring partners.
I got my bag in the car, man. I was in where we was at yesterday. We went to Bones and Top Rank, man. We get that work.
Oh, you work too?
Oh hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh hell yeah. I mean, he was just telling everybody how Johnny dropped me yesterday, Rice.
Cody will beat the shit out you.
I mean,
You box Johnny Rice?
He's supposed to, man.
Cody will beat the shit out you.
Mike Polite Coffee too.
Cody will make.
Before I got in there with Polite before Johnny, man. I had to tell Johnny what was what. And yo, that jab was serious. He swelled my eye. But yeah, I mean, Cody's supposed to, bro. Like, I'm an old man that just loves the sport. Like, I ain't supposed to be beating world champions. This guy's crazy.
I just want.
What's Cody gonna do to you?
He'll beat the shit out of me.
All right, as long as we on the same page. That is the last question. Actually, I got a super chat came in from Bo and Bama that says, Cody, glad you came in. Been a supporter ever since, I guess he meant to say ever since I seen you in your last scrap. I have you beating a lot of the other welterweights, including Boots. Salute, bro. Bo from Bama, only in America, American flag emoji. I gotta ask about Boots, guys. He's like this dark horse. Everybody thinks he's the... What's your thoughts on him? You said everybody's missing something. What's Boots missing?
Nah, Boots is not missing.
Oh shit, he's complete.
Yeah, but I forgot about him. He's Boots he's the real deal. I believe.
Y'all sparred him?
No, we never sparred Boots. But
Why ain't go to Philly?
I mean, Boots just now got on the scene for real. Like,
I mean, on the main scene, people been talking about
Boots on that radar too. You know, he was on that radar too.
Is it too late to get sparring with him?
Yeah, I don't want to spar him at this point. I don't want to give him it because I think Boots is a very, very smart fighter. He has a high ring IQ, and I think that if we give him that insight to what's going on, then it'll be detrimental to us. So,
have y'all been offered that fight?
Yeah, we have.
I already knew what he said.
We've been offered that fight. We've been offered it kind of by the way. I don't know if it was real or not. You know, it's been talked about.
I need to elaborate. What do you mean? How do you not know if it's real?
Because it's been talked about. It's not like we had an official offer or anything like that.
So no number attached to it.
No, it was no. Okay. It was no.
Yeah, that's not an offer. If you don't know what you're getting paid, you can't get in there.
So it was more so of it's got for me for Boots. I like that fight too. I want that fight, but I wanted to make money with it. Like because we already know when we go in there to fight Boots, Cody's not coming out the same. It's a piece of him is going to be gone forever. You know, in order to beat Boots, and I do believe we could beat Boots as well. I believe Cody. I'm telling you, I think he could beat everybody, but it's still got to make sense dollar-wise. Just like it didn't make sense for Castillo Clayton to fight Cody earlier. Not that one of them could beat the other, but it still got to make sense. Why give up that chance and for no money? You know, so that's why we fighting Joseto Lopez, so we can build Cody up. But that's why we're here building him up, and then let's get it on with everybody.
Cody, what you think about him getting hit with them lip and yet shots on the inside? Where everybody's seen him showing his skill on the inside, did you see any deficiencies? I love this guy. When can we get you back? Bro, keep the camera on the coach. My man with his facial expression, he gonna sit. Yo, and then there's an expression is like sips tea, but he's sipping his coffee like, yeah, all right. I love him. Ibn, it's an East Coast thing, I bet you. But go ahead, I'm sorry. What did you think of Lip and Nets landing them inside shots? Because everybody gives Boots all this credit for being this inside fighter, but I mean, wasn't he getting hit in that fight?
I'm a great inside fighter, and I throw punches that most people can't see coming. I got these short little T-Rex arms, and I just crank them over on people on the side of their skull and crack them open. That's what you've seen. I literally, I produced a type of pressure in my last fight that blew the dude's ear open. When do you see a dude's ear split?
Margarito,
open?
ESPN Friday Night Fights.
Not
what was it?
Roberto
Garcia. He took his ear off.
Yeah, not
shit was gruesome.
Not often.
Definitely not.
So I go for those ears, bro. I'm on the inside, and I just throw weird punches. The guys don't see coming, and a lot of slick fighters. That's the reason why they grab me, because as soon as I get inside, the oven just gets too hot and they get cooked.
I know you got to go. Last one. We're getting up as you answer. Who's the tougher welterweight fight for Ibn?
For Cody, you mean?
Shit. For Cody. Let's put the trainer in there. He's doing all the talking. For Cody, is it Earl, Terrence, or Boots?
Boots.
Wow. All right. We're going to intermission. We're going to take a picture with these fine folks, and we'll be back with some more after
the video. Feel free to hit the like, subscribe, and share. As always, if you want to support us to the next level, head over to the patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice. We have tons of exclusive from Border Wars, Untitled, betting shows, the list goes on and on and on. But in addition to that, if you guys have questions for fighters, trainers, and promoters, this is where you can submit them. We will run out, get these questions answered, and put it back on the show just for you guys. Appreciate it. Peace.